guns and pawn shops. Where you see a lot of pawn shops in your inner city neighborhoods, gun shops, and not more so now with a lot of the gun control laws that they're trying to implement. You have to have a little bit more. You have to have like your waiting periods and things of that nature. But that wasn't always the case. You can go in as long as you got the money, you can get what you want. You want to buy a Glock or Deuce or whatever. As long as you got the money to pay for it, you're good to go. And outside of your gun shops and your pawn shops, you have to look at all the illegal, like fully automatic weapons. Where do these weapons come from? You can't go to a store and buy an Uzi, can you? Where did it come from? We don't make them in the ghetto, so they're flown in. They're brought in from somewhere else, from the exterior in. They're brought in from someone else. Who's putting those there in our community? The government. All right. We're going to skip over churches. I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to bring that around towards the end. But we're going to drop down to segregation. Not forced segregation, but voluntary segregation. People tend to gravitate toward people that look like them. Blacks tend to gravitate toward other blacks. Whites tend to gravitate toward other whites. So have you. We all tend to pull toward people that have something in common with us. So it's not uncommon to have a large area or a large housing development where one race of people solely live, because no one else is going to move in there. So you have a community of blacks, whether it be an inner city or even a suburban city. All the blacks living in one place, if there's a white person living there, more than likely he's going to move out. That's where your white flight came from. The black people move in, white people move out. So you're keeping all the black people together, everybody else is going somewhere else. So we're segregating ourselves voluntarily. So the only thing that is in our community, the only thing in our inner cities are people that look like us. So we have these substandard living conditions and government assistance, these illicit drugs, the cheap liquor, and the weapons that the government is all putting there for us. When we look around at the end of the day, when we're high, when we're drunk, and we got our Uzi, and the tempers start flaring, and someone did you wrong, you want to retaliate, who do you go after? Now, in your neighborhood, everyone in your neighborhood looks like you. Maybe in the neighborhood next to you, maybe another so-called hood. So you roll over there and you go banging over there, you know what I'm saying? But you're still killing people that look just like you, because that's what they want you to do in the first place, to kill yourself. High crime rates are a result of all this. We have some of the highest murder, rates in the country as black people. We have substandard education. The education system is just totally failing black America. We have so many in our inner cities that even fail to get a high school education. And these are things that, these are problems that we see in our black communities, in our inner cities, the projects in our ghettos, that we cannot any longer wait for our politicians to come in and help us out and make things better. We gotta take a stand and make things better for ourselves. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about churches also. Church, slash religion. Religion and or church is the thing that ties it all together. This is the icing on the cake right here. You got your substandard living conditions, so you're probably looking at low-income people. When you have low income, you get stressed out because you don't have money. Money causes that stress. You know what I'm saying? You use your drugs to escape that reality on an internal level. But as soon as that high comes down, you're coming back to that reality. You're crashing back down to that reality, so you do it again. You keep using your drugs to constantly stay, in an altered state of mind. Or, and your drugs and your cheap liquor. You get drunk, blank out for a little while, come back and do the same thing again. And you have your guns and your no one in your community, everyone in your community looks just like you. All these things tied together with religion, which is there to keep you docile. That's what it's there for. There's nothing wrong with religion and going to church or anything of that nature, but you must realize, we got to understand what were the two things that we were given as slaves when we were brought to this country. They gave us two things. They gave us a language, and they gave us a religion. They gave us a religion. Why did they give you their religion? They gave you a language so you can understand what they're telling you to do. They gave you a religion to keep you docile so that you don't fight back when they oppress you. Because you're always looking toward God in the sky to look after you, down here on earth. And once this earthly life, once this physical life is done, and you gravitate toward the heavenly world, things are better. So you can deal with getting beat here. You can deal with the substandard conditions you live in, conditions that you live in. You can deal with the violence. You can deal with all the things that go on in this world because you know it's somewhere better after it's all said and done. But what he did, he tricked you. He tricked all of us because he made you believe that God looked like him. God was a white man with blue eyes and blonde hair. He looked more like him than he did you. So that right there worked against your positive mental image, because you're thinking, you're going to your church, you're looking to God, but the image of God doesn't even look like you. He's making you believe he's closer to God than you are. So these are all the pitfalls that go on in our inner cities right now. And it's causing our communities to be the way they are. And it's up to us to actually take control of this situation and turn it around. Now, I'm telling you, if we all individually look inward instead of outward and worked on ourselves individually, we could turn all this stuff around. But it takes one. It takes you as an individual to better yourself and hopefully better the people around you so that our whole community can come together and rise up from the pitfalls that America has set for us to fall into. Now, I do want to say also, even though we have a lot of negative things that go on in our inner cities, it is not impossible for you to make it out of the inner city and make something of yourself. I mean, we see it all the time. But, the numbers or the percentages are really low. They're really low that you will make it out. And, you can even make it out alive, or not hooked on drugs or something like that. But we've seen many do it. Even our President Barack Obama, he didn't come from wealth. He knows what it's like to live in, slum-ridden areas, but he came out of it. So we have to use people such as that, as inspirations to the rest of us, who may be in these situations, that we can overcome, we can lift ourselves up, and there's something better out there for us. We don't have to be what they prescribe us to be. We can be who we naturally are, and that greatness within us will shine. So that's my little spiel on the projects. Not too long, not too short, just a little something to get your mouth wet. I may post this on the website also, but if you have any comments or anything like that, please feel free to leave those. Whether you agree or you disagree, that's fine. But one thing we must do in our black community right now is start having some meaningful dialogue. We need to start talking to each other. That's one thing we don't do. We don't talk. So, check us out at the Underground Unplugged, MySpace. Check out the forums, check out the blog. Till next time, you guys be easy, keep your heads up, and all power to the people. Peace.